is Liza, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. For today's yoga class, we'll be playing around with manifesting trust and a connection to your intuition over fear. A lot of the times we tend to get confused between what is trust versus fear. Fear is something that can propel you in terms of keeping you safe, in terms of keeping you out of harm's way. For example, a fear of not looking both ways before you cross the street, because if you're not looking, a car could come and your life could be in danger, or a fear of a bear or a tiger. But sometimes fear can be absolutely irrational and attached to things that make no sense, that have not happened yet, or maybe it's attached to something that has already happened, but may not ever happen again. Your intuition, on the other hand, is always focused on the now. It's always focused on a sense of how you're feeling, what you want, what's in alignment with your truth. Or maybe it's just a general caring about something, an awareness of the world around you that consciously you may not be aware of, but we all have those moments where we have a gut feeling to call someone or connect with someone. And that's your intuition really focusing in on the now, wanting to check in with your loved ones. So that's a brief difference between your fears and your intuition. It's always important to go with your intuition over your fears, because your intuition can always lead you towards what you want, what is more of an authentic, happy, healthy life. Versus your fears will try to keep you in an imaginary sense of safety, or paralyzed from really going for what you want and taking healthy risks. So with that, let's go ahead and dive on into our yoga practice, where we will be playing around with crow pose. There it is. Crow pose, and a couple of core exercises and balance postures to help us with trust. For this practice, you can play around with blocks and even a blanket if you wish, but it's not necessary. So let's go ahead and come to lie on down. And take a moment to just tune on in. And take a nice big deep inhale into the body. And exhale, sigh out, let go. Two more clearing breaths. Inhaling through the nose. And exhale through the mouth. Last big deep breath in. And exhale. Take a moment to tune on into your breath and your body. The chakras, or the energy points that will come into focus for this practice, will be crown, the energy point that helps you with trust, intuition, and feeling connected to higher power, knowing you are a part of something way bigger, and root chakra, which is about feeling grounded, feeling safe, tuning on into your instincts. Working with both will help you learn the difference between fear and intuition, and help you lean into trusting that intuition, releasing fear. So take a nice big deep inhale into the body. Exhale, sighing out, letting go. And when you are absolutely ready, feel free to set an intention for yourself for this practice, whatever it is. And let us go ahead. Big deep breath in. Exhale, sigh out. And gently float the eyes open. Great work. So let's go ahead and start to warm up the muscles that prepare us for Bakasana or crane pose, crow pose. Go ahead, bend the knees and make sure that the lower back is grounded to the yoga mat. We're going to hug the inner thighs in towards each other as we press the palms up towards the ceiling. See if we can turn the hands out to really open up and broaden in the chest. Firm the forearms and the upper arms towards one another. Really hug the navel and ribcage on in. Take a nice big deep inhale, draw the knees towards the elbows. And then exhale to release. Just tapping the toes on the earth. Take a nice big deep inhale, drawing the knees towards the elbows. And exhale, release, letting go. Breathing in. And sighing it out. Inhale. And exhale. 5 more times, breathing in and sighing out. And just continue to go at your own pace for 4 more times. So this class will also help you with self-validation. I won't be trying to say, great job, too much. Take a moment to always be proud of yourself throughout your journey. Take a moment for self-validation because sometimes we focus too much on the outside world's validation. 2 more breath cycles, inhaling and exhale. Last big deep inhale and exhale, go ahead, release. Press the feet into the yoga mat, maybe feel for the back of the heels or just make sure that when you press into the feet and lift the hips that your lower back feels nice and supported. And just take a little stretch here, pressing into the fingertips, really broadening across the shoulder blades as well as the collarbone, sending the chin slightly away from the chest. Big deep inhale, hug the inner thighs in towards each other, squeeze. And exhale, let it all go. Release into the grounding, the foundation of that earth, knowing you are safe, you're protected, you're exactly where you're meant to be. Let's go ahead and begin to roll on to the side and press on up to your comfortable seated position. Go ahead, roll on to the hands and knees. And yet again, we're going to ground down through the fingertips. Now, this is great. Cat-cows are a great way to practice our crow pose and that work in the upper body or any pose, for example, that you're really grounded into your hands. So feel free to curl the toes under, maybe bring the tops of the feet to the floor if you have tight ankles and tops of the feet. See if you can send your index fingers forward. And again, firm the forearms in towards one another. Draw the navel and the rib cage on in and spread through the collarbones and the shoulder blades. Keep the shoulders over the wrists. Keep wrists, shoulders distance apart. Take a nice big deep inhale. Tilt the pelvis forward and down. Send the belly down towards the yoga mat. Send the heart through the gateway of the arms. Roll the gaze forward and up. Breathing in trust. On an exhale, bring the tops of the feet to the floor. Round in the upper back. Keep the shoulders over the wrists as the chin comes towards the chest. Exhale, releasing any fear. Inhale, breathing in trust. Exhale, releasing fear. Inhaling, breathing in. And exhale, really press the floor away as you round release. 2 more breaths, inhaling. And exhale. Last big deep inhale. And exhale. Excellent work. Bring the big toes together. Allow the knees to be mat distance apart and come into a child's pose and feel free to bow on down. Take a moment to nurture the inner child that sometimes holds on to the past of what went wrong, what could go wrong again. Take a moment to nurture and say, it is okay. We are here now. And we are safe. Breathing in.
And exhale, sighing out. Go ahead, slowly return back to tabletop position when you are ready. Bring the knees underneath the hips once more. Curl the left toes under, reach the right heel on back. Really see if you can floint or point through the ball of your right foot, squaring the hips. Take a nice big deep inhale. Exhale, draw the knee towards the nose, round in the upper back, chin towards chest. Inhale, breathing in, trust, connecting to the floor underneath you. Exhale, releasing any doubt and fear that may cloud the mind. 2 more times, inhaling. Exhale. Last time, breathing in and sighing it out. Go ahead, see if you can send the knee towards the elbow. Send it up nice and high. I know your glute muscle's talking to you, but stay with me. And exhale, release the right heel on back. Send the right foot over to the left side. Feel a nice stretch in the lats. And then go ahead, gaze over that left shoulder or in the back leg. Take a nice big deep inhale. And exhale slowly. See if you can send the right foot all the way over, and forgive me for the little bit of lint, but send the right foot all the way over to the right side, grounding down through all 4 corners of your foot. See if you can walk the fingertips as far forward as possible. Bow on down, chin towards the chest, inhaling, and exhale. Breathing in. And sighing out. Last big deep inhale. And exhale, slowly walk the hands back underneath the shoulders and bring that right knee back underneath the right hip. Are you ready for the other side? Let's go. Ground down, feel that foundation, feel that safety. And go ahead, reach that left heel on back. Floint through the foot, press the floor away. Take a nice big deep inhale. Exhale, draw the knee in towards the nose, round, press the floor away. Exhale, any doubts, any fears, anything that's holding you back. And inhale, really open up in the heart, breathing into intuition, opening up. And exhale, round and upper back, chin towards the chest. Twice more, you have this. Inhaling. And exhale. Breathing in. And exhale, round, press the floor away, releasing, letting go, and then send that left knee up towards the elbow. Reach. I know that glute muscle's talking to you, but we're going to be using that muscle in crow, so warm it up. Inhale. And exhale, reach that left heel on back. Send the left foot all the way over to the right side and gaze over the right shoulder. Take a nice big deep breath in. And exhale, sweep that left foot all the way over to the left. And then walk the fingertips as far forward as possible. Bow on down. Spread through the collarbones and the shoulder blades, getting a nice stretch in the upper back. And see if you can release any tension in the jaw and the neck, as well as the hips. Again, grounding into earth, what's below, and grounding into the mystery of up above. And when you are ready, slowly walk the hands underneath the shoulders. And release. Ground down through fingertips, curl toes under, press into the hands and feet, lift the hips up nice and high. Come into downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. And begin to pedal out the legs, bending through one leg, reaching through opposite heel. Really firm the upper arm and the forearms in towards one another. As you see if you can send the shoulder blades away like you're spreading your wings. Sway the head yes, for believing and trusting. Sway the head no, for releasing any doubt, releasing any fear. Last big deep inhale. And exhale. slowly gaze forward. See if you can send that right heel up towards the ceiling and reach that left heel on down. It's almost like you're kind of creating a split, but using the floor and the hands to help you. And then see if you can go ahead, step the right foot in between the hands, or take a hold of this ankle and help it on forward to the inside of the right foot. Release the left knee on down, bring the top of that left foot to the floor, and go ahead, sweep fingertips forward and up, opening up in that left hip. And exhale, send the hips forward and down. Inhale to reach. Exhale to sweep fingertips forward, down, and back. Inhale, scooping up any fears, releasing it to what is above. And exhale, releasing fingertips forward and down, grounding down to what is below. And this too, with the top of the foot to the floor, will help with your balance. So inhaling and exhale. 2 more breaths. Stay with me. Breathing in. Sighing it out. Last big deep inhale. And exhale, release the hands on down. Frame the right foot, curl the left toes under, sweep the right hand up nice and high. Inhaling to reach the right hand up. Exhaling, draw the navel on in. Twist a little bit more by pressing into the bottom left hand. There's a connection to what is above, the mystery, and yet there's a knowing. There's more out there, more to be discovered. And below, what we know, what is. Between these two worlds, there is our intuition, there is our truth. There's where we are at. Last big deep inhale. Exhale, swim the right hand to the inside of the right foot and heel toe the right foot all the way to the outside edge of the yoga mat. Take a nice big deep inhale. Exhale, keep sending the hips forward and down. And slowly begin to rock back and forward, getting deeper into the hips. Breathe. You have this for 2 more breath cycles. Inhaling and exhale. Last big deep inhale and exhale. Keep sending the hips forward and down, ground down. And then go ahead, step that left foot to meet the right. In forward fold, heel toe the feet together. And see if we can sway from side to side. Take a hold of opposite wrists, forearms, and elbows. Keep sending the crown of the head down as you send the sit bones on up. And just have a moment to just breathe here in forward fold. Feeling the crown of the head, what normally is pointing to the sky, coming down to the earth. Feeling the tailbone, the sit bones, what's normally so connected to the earth, pointing up towards the sky. The truth with the intuition, the honesty and knowing of the unknown. And that's what's really scary. There's no physical harm or danger. When you know you're not hurting anyone, when you know this is just a leap of faith, that's when your intuition is calling to you. Ground down through all 4 corners of the feet. Keep sending the sit bones up nice and high. Hold with me for 2 breath cycles. Inhale. Exhale, release. Let go of anything weighing you down, anything holding you back. Last big deep inhale. Exhale. Release the hands on down. Ground down through the feet and slowly stack vertebrae on top of vertebrae. Slowly come to rise. Roll shoulders up towards the ears, back down and forward. And then release the shoulders on down and bring the hands to prayer, thumbs connected to the heart. Take a moment to connect with yourself, your heart, your truth, where your peace is, where you are. And when you are ready, inhale, reach fingertips forward, up and back. Exhale, swan dive all the way on down into forward fold. Inhale, slide the hands towards the knees. See if you can send the shoulders in alignment with the hips. Really broaden across the shoulders and the collarbones. Gaze forward. And exhale, go ahead, release. Step back into plank posture. And again, press the floor away, send the index fingers forward. Hug the inner thighs in towards one another. Draw the navel and rib cage on in. Really press, press, press. Take a nice big deep inhale. Exhale, release the knees on down. Bring the tops of the feet to the floor. Slowly lower, lower, lower. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold, hover, and release. If you fell at that point, it's all good. And then see if you can slide the elbows underneath the shoulders and just rock from side to side. Release that lower back tension. Take a moment of self-validation. I normally say to you guys, you're doing great, you're doing great. Take a moment to just tell yourself, I'm doing great. I'm here. That's all that matters. Last 2 breaths, inhaling. Exhale. Last big deep inhale. And on an exhale, go ahead, slide the hands to frame the rib cage or directly underneath the elbows and rise through head, neck, and chest. Hug shoulder blades in towards one another. Press the top of the feet to the floor and see if you can roll those inner thighs almost open to really release that lower back. Roll them almost inward and up. Last big deep inhale. Exhale, and if you didn't understand what I meant by roll the inner thighs, it's kind of like if I were to lift my leg, it's like pointing, my toes are pointing out, I'm gonna roll it inward, and that will help release the lower back. So it's kind of like, take a nice big deep inhale. Exhale, curl toes under, press up and back, downward dog, pedal out the legs. We're gonna do the same sequence on the opposite side before we dive on into our warrior, and then we play around with our crow pose. So, halfway through. We're almost halfway through. Take a nice big deep inhale and exhale. Go ahead, find stillness in downward facing dog. Find your groundedness. See if you can ground down to the ball of the foot. Send the left heel up towards the ceiling. Draw the knee in towards the nose, round in the upper back. Create that space, press the floor away. See if you can step that left foot in between the hands. Release the right knee on down to the earth. Bring the top of the right foot to the floor. Inhale, sweep fingertips forward and up for Anjaneyasana. Keep sending hips forward and down. Inhale. Exhale. Imagine as you're sending your hips forward and down that any doubt, any fear is being released into the earth as you reach up towards the more. Breathe. When you are ready, inhale and exhale, sweep fingertips forward and down. Inhale, sweeping fingertips forward and up. And exhale, sweeping fingertips forward and down. 2 more times. Hug the inner thighs in towards each other. You will feel a little off balance, but you got this. Last big deep inhale. And exhale. Go ahead, inhale, sweep fingertips forward and up. Open up in the chest. And exhale, swim the hands on down. Ground down through the right hand, sweep the left hand on up towards the ceiling and curl the right toes on under. See if you can reach as you draw the navel on in on in. Well, actually, I would say breathe in on inhale. Draw the navel on in on exhale. See how much you can twist for that. If the neck hurts, feel free to look forward or down. Stay with me for 4 more breaths. I know, this is a strong pose. Keep hugging the inner thighs in towards one another. Inhaling. And exhale. Keep sending the hips forward and down. Feel that connection between heaven and earth. There you are. It doesn't mean the past doesn't affect us. It doesn't mean we won't get hurt in the future. But we take all of that with us and walk in strength and in faith. Last big deep inhale. Exhale, swim the left hand on down to the inside of the left foot and heel toe the left foot all the way to the outside edge of the mat. Let's work out that left side of the body. So go ahead, send the hips forward and send the hips on back. Sending the hips forward and sending the hips on back. And keep breathing. Inhale and exhale. Breathing in, sighing out. Last 2 breaths. Last big deep inhale. And exhale, bend on into the left knee and step the right foot to the front of the yoga mat. Bring the feet or heel toe the feet in towards one another, big toes together. A gentle and natural slight separation between the heels. Sit into imaginary chair and then see if you can sweep the fingertips forward and up. I have to like, I have to be joyful. I have to make funny sounds and play with it, because throughout our yoga, and that's the same with how I am in life, you know, I can't just be serious and I feel like I'm not living, you know, and that's the same with the yoga. It's okay to be serious sometimes. It's okay to have fun sometimes, even when it's scary. Stay with me for 2 more breaths. Gaze down. Can you see your toes? Wiggle them. Really hug the rib cage together and in as you send that tailbone on down. Last big deep inhale. Exhale, fold forward. Shake out the legs. The grand finale of our yoga practice. Step the right foot on back. Pivot the right foot down onto the yoga mat, making sure that there's an imaginary line. I love this yoga mat because it kind of shows these lines. Forgive the dust, gotta sweep. But go ahead, send that left heel to connect to that right foot. And I'm turning with my left foot first so you guys can see me and I'm open. But if you started with your right foot first, all good, we'll do both sides. And then go ahead, bend on into the left knee and windmill the hands into warrior 2. Hug the inner thighs in towards each other, especially for my ones who love to stick the tushy out. The hugging the thighs in towards each other helps really release that tailbone on down, neutralize it. Keep tracing the knee towards the pinky toe, shoulders away from the ears, gaze forward. Strong in your warrior. Inhale, exhale. Breathe. Take a nice big deep inhale. And exhale, straighten the left leg, sweep the left hand up and over, feel a nice stretch and opening. Inhale. And then exhale, warrior 2. Inhale, leaning into trust. Exhale, staying strong in the face of doubts and fears. Breathing in. And sighing it out. Last time, inhale. And exhale. Go ahead, turn the left toes to face right. Well, what now is your right? So what I like to do is I like to lean into the heel, lift it up, and then turn. And then turn my right toes to face, I'm turning my right toes to face the back of the mat. So go ahead, turn your right toes to face the back of your mat. Bend on into that right knee. Again, hug inner thighs in towards one another. It's like they're magnets right here, and they're being drawn to each other. Almost like that energy we have when our intuition is drawing us towards something. It's drawing us in. And we engage the glute muscles gently. We draw that navel on in. Ribcage comes in as well, like a corset wrapping around, melting the shoulders away from the ears, tracing that knee towards that second toe. Take a nice big deep inhale. Exhale, bend just a little bit deeper. Get grounded. Go ahead, reach the right fingertips forward, flip the right hand, straighten that right leg, bring it up and back. Peaceful warrior, or reverse triangle, I should say. And then exhale, Virabhadrasana 2, warrior 2. Inhale, leaning into faith. And exhale, warrior 2. 2 more times. Great work. Come on to the right heel and then turn the right toes to face the right side of the yoga mat. Heel toe the feet a little bit closer together. See if you can send the hands towards the hips. Send the hips forward. Open up in the chest. And then exhale. Fold forward. So now the crown of the head is down towards the yoga mat. We really helped play around with strengthening the muscles for our crow pose. So now let's go ahead and play around with that. Heel toe the toes closer together. See if you can come to sit in Malasana, garland posture. So we're squatting. We're hugging the inner thighs in towards each other. Now, if it's like, no, that's not happening today. Feel free to go ahead, take a block, place it underneath the sit bones. Whew, make sure that block is actually underneath the sit bones. And go ahead, stay here, which is a choice. But sometimes that's too much for individuals as well. So we can even stay here. This will strengthen the inner thighs. Play around with your Malasana. That's part one. Part two, actually, I'm going to save this block. Part two, you can bring a block underneath your toes. And see how my toes are together and I'm squatting. So I come from Malasana into my squat or a deeper squat. This is also a traditional form of Malasana. You can even play around with your balance here and bind, but again, not necessary for today's class. See if you can send the shoulders or wrists underneath the shoulders. Send your knees up high. And then hug the inner thighs in towards those knees and rock forward and back. That's all you have to do. I'm not gonna tell you to lift the feet unless all of a sudden you're like, you know what, let me play. Lift the feet one at a time and play around with your Bakasana. If you wanna try something that's a little bit more challenging, you can go ahead, ground down through the fingertips, send the knees in towards the armpits, lean forward, and then lift. Feel free to try it without the block. Feel free to try it in crane pose with the arms straight. But go ahead, feel free to play around with that for as long as you wish. Half an hour online videos never give you enough time to play. So I'm gonna stay here in Malasana for about 3 breaths. Feel free to pause the video within those 3 breaths, and I'll be back here when you're ready. So take a nice big deep inhale and exhale. 2 more breaths, inhaling and exhale. Last big deep breath in and exhale. Great work. If you have played with your crow pose to the fullest expression for today, take a moment to thank yourself. And let's go ahead and come on into seated position. Bring your legs nice and wide. Shake it out. Flex the toes, bend the knees. See if we can walk the fingertips as far forward as possible. See if we can just close the eyes, trust, and let go. So we played around with our balanced posture of crow pose. And when you are ready, slowly walk the hands towards your pelvis. Place the hands onto the tops of the legs and make sure the legs are nice and engaged by flexing the feet. You'll feel them nice and firm. Go ahead, press into your right hand and twist on over to the left. For those of you who are like, you look opposite, I may look mirror image to you. So in this case, this is your right side. Press into your right hand, twist on over to the left. But if not, I'll go ahead and play around. Ooh, that gets into the inner thigh, so be very gentle. Inhale and exhale back to center. And then inhale, press gently into the left leg or opposite leg. Inhale And exhale to center. This should get into the thighs as well as the upper body. 2 more times. Inhaling. Exhale. Breathing in. Sighing it out. Last round. Great work. Place hands underneath the knees. Help the legs come together. Bring the knees together. Let's take a final twist. Wrap the arms around the left leg. Sweep the right hand up, back and down. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale to twist. Releasing anything that is weighing you down. Anything that doesn't serve you anymore. And go ahead, sweep the right hand up, forward, wrap the right hand around the knees and sweep the left hand up, back and down. Inhale and exhale, twist. And slowly sweep the left hand up, forward, and down, and release. Hug the knees in towards the chest. Give your lower back a delicious massage. And just take a moment to find gratitude for yourself. Take a moment to know that we are a part of something way bigger. That's bigger than our fears. That's bigger than what happened to us in the past or what could happen to us in the future. That love, that living, that joy is worth really taking leaps for. And the rest can go. Life is never as bleak as what our fears make it out to be. Place hands on the knees, trace circles, release that lower back. Maybe trace circles in the opposite direction, or just play. The hips should feel nice and open, our core should be nice and engaged. And you can release it now, letting it go. Placing feet onto the earth, swaying knees from side to side. And when you are absolutely ready, feel free to take Shavasana. For this Shavasana, I'm going to bring the soles of the feet together into a Baddha Konasana. If you have blocks, what I like to do is I like to place my blocks right directly underneath my knees for support. Oh my goodness, it feels so good. So if you have books or anything like that, feel free to use those as well. Really feel yourself held in the energy of the earth, the palm of the universe's hand. Even our earth is floating in this mystery around us, this connection, and yet this unknown force. It's indescribable, even scary. But trust that this fear is more about what we don't know. And what we don't know is that our intuition can lead us to some of the most beautiful places that we've never imagined. It's just a matter of trusting it and letting go. You can stay here for as long as you wish in this Shavasana. Continue to meditate on the energy of earth and heaven and you right there, part of both, right here in the present moment. I also invite you that if you have a question for your intuition, now's the time to ask it. You may get a very clear answer. And if you are ready to let the practice go, take a nice big deep inhale. Exhale. Remember, you can stay here for as long as you wish. This is only if you wish to let the practice go, and we can move into the rest of our day or night, taking the wisdom of the practice with us. Deepen the breath, wiggle fingers and toes, and slowly roll onto your side and press on up to your comfortable seated position when you're ready. But if you are still in Shavasana, stay there, relax and release. Feel free to go deeper into a meditative state.
I thank you so much for practicing with me, beautiful yogi, my friend. Take a moment of serious pride and gratitude for all that you have done. Give yourself compassion if you tend to be hard on yourself during the yoga practice, knowing that all you did today was more than enough. You showed up, you did it. Rock on. Thank you again for practicing and joining with me. And I wish you so many blessings for your day, your night, your week, or weekend. There will be a meditation on this practice that I will be uploading to this channel. You can also practice with me on Insight Timer if you wish to dive deeper into a meditative state on this theme of trust and intuition. I thank you so much again for practicing with me, my friend. I'll see you next time. Take care and namaste.